morning, Miramar. I'm your host, Tamara G. Don't forget, you can check us out on all of our social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at City of Miramar. We all know it's right here in Miramar, and right here with me this morning, I don't even know if this man needs any introduction, but it is the one, the only, the legendary, the incomparable, Mr. Maxie Priest.
Good morning, Tam. Good morning, Tammy.
Oh,
how you doing? Can I call you Tammy?
Please, you can call whatever you want to.
Cool.
Yes.
And good morning, everybody else.
Good morning.
Thank
good morning.
Thank you.
And I am so happy to have you here. We're so happy to have you here
Bless your heart.
in the city of Miramar because you are going to be honored. The
Yeah.
Black British Heritage Celebration.
Yeah.
You're going to be honored right here in the city of Miramar.
Wow.
Did you ever think anything like this would happen, that you would be getting honors all these years into your career?
No.
Really?
No, and especially not Black British heritage.
Right.
Wow. And I get to understand that it's kind of like a contribution from England to the States.
Correct.
Wow. My mother and father would be like, wow, you know.
And I wanted to talk to you about that because truly you are a legend, and you know that. He's very modest, y'all.
Oh,
he is so modest, but he is the Maxie Priest.
Thank you.
Did you ever think that you would have a career that has been this long-standing, this noteworthy?
No. No. And when you say that, I picture myself sitting at my parents' doorstep, looking into the sky and watching the clouds go by and thinking, wow, will I ever leave here? And then, here I am now having to kind of think of the places that I haven't been.
Because you've been all over the
world. Yeah, I've been blessed to do that. And then earlier on, I mentioned my parents, and how I wish that they were alive to be able to share some of this journey. I'm from a large family of 9 brothers and sisters. I'm the second to last.
Oh, you're the knee baby. Okay.
I was supposed to be the baby.
Lad. Oh, okay. I'm sure that, do you have a younger brother? Or
yes,
sister?
I have a younger brother.
So he gets it all the time because you tell him that I was supposed to be the baby, but yeah. So as the knee baby, and you were wondering if you were ever going to get out. I think that's also a very important story to tell people today because, folks think you just woke up and became Maxie Priest.
No,
you had to really do some work and some, how many dives and clubs and things that you had to go through.
Oh my gosh, late nights after playing around sound systems. Sound systems is like a mobile discotheque, and we would spin the B-sides of a track and just grab the mic, and whatever vibe was flowing, you went for it. I mean, if we track back before that, my mother was a missionary in Pentecostal church. We grew up, as a baby inside our mother, there was a vibration. She would sing all the time. No matter what she was doing, she would be singing. She'd be behind her sewing machine, doing her sewing and singing, humming, whatever, and as kids, my mother always sung to us, so it started from there.
So you're not the only one in the family that has the talent.
No. We, all of us sung, from knee high in Pentecostal church. It's nothing strange to us, I call my singing my friend. It's my friend that is here with me now and was there with me from ever since. If I was happy, I could turn to him. If I was sad, I could turn to that person, that thing. If I wanted to ask questions, I could turn and sing and ask the question, or express myself, and I call him my friend,
Well, we are very happy to call you our friend.
Thank
and
you.
You've been our friend for many years now.
Thank you.
You know, I've been in radio. I'm not even going to tell you how long. Probably as long as you have been a musician. But,
Thank you.
you know, playing your albums, your records,
Yeah.
99 Jams, Hot 105, 101.5, Light FM, which is where I am now.
Thank you.
No, seriously. So you'll be getting that royalty check. You get it every month, I'm sure. How did you make that transition from you know, truly doing the Caribbean, the reggae vibe, and then, you know, becoming, as we call it, mainstream?
Well, you know, from the sound system, I started to build an audience, you know, and people would come and want autograph, take pictures, even before I even had a track out. I then went from there to sign to Virgin Records. I signed to Virgin Records. I was at Virgin Records for 17 years.
Wow, okay.
I spent with Virgin. How did I get from there to there? I guess because
it's that smooth sound.
No,
we know what it is.
No, you know what? From school, everybody was always been asking me, sing. You know, and you know, when we gathered as a group in school, I would sing, I would entertain. Then that went from there to sound system. And as I said, I then started to, a guy called Erskine Thompson started to inquire about what we were doing. And when I say we, myself, Philip Levi, Peter Kin, Smiley Culture, Pato Banton, and all of these guys have gone on to have some success in the entertainment world. He started to inquire what we were doing. He signed me then to Virgin Records. But, you know, and it seems like just a jump.
Right, that it just happened overnight, but no, it didn't.
No, you know, we spent a lot of late nights. You know, I remember going to work in the day and then going to play sound system at night. And then turning up at work very tired, exhausted.
Still going to your 9 to 5, right?
Yeah, because
you got to do what you got to do, Maxie.
Especially, you know, I as I said, I come from a very large family, but my parents died at a very early age. My father died when I was 14 years of age.
Okay.
My mother passed away, God rest their souls, when I was 22, 21, something like that.
So very young. You were very young when you lost both your parents.
You know, so from the age of 14, I was, you know, around building sites, you know, trying to do whatever, you know, do whatever, painting, you know, shovel, dig some this and do whatever, mix cement for bricklayers and so forth and like that and do some laboring, just to try and keep this household that my parents worked very hard for. Yeah.
Well, in case you are just tuning in, we are talking with the legendary Maxie Priest, and you mentioned some names earlier. Do you feel like there truly is something cosmic? It seems like when you hang with people who are about the same thing as you are, have you noticed that people who are famous, who are artistic, who are musical, they seem to find each other. They seem to, it's just something about the universe bringing all of them together, and, you know, voila. I'm sure that at your class reunion, you know, it's like, oh, okay, Maxie's here, you know.
It's a vibration, you know, and I guess to everything there is a vibration, you know, whether you be a doctor or a nurse or in the medical field, there's a vibration for that. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're an architect or into building, there is a vibration for that, and that's the same with entertainment. Especially as a singer or a musician, you have to come together.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's a vibration that we share together, that sounds, you know, and vibrates across to the people. You know, it's
the
supposed to happen.
Exactly, it's supposed to happen. It's the universe.
That's supposed to happen, and God bless the moments when we come together and then something special happens. and then you write a song off a blank piece of paper, and then it becomes successful, and not just successful in your hometown, but another country,
around the world, around the globe,
another set of people. As I told you earlier on, sitting at my parents' doorstep, and then landing in somewhere like Japan. When I first went to Japan, did they really understand the music? Did they understand our culture?
But it is a universal language. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, and that's the point that I was trying to make, is that, I went to Japan, and in front of 3,000 people, you could hear a pin drop before we entered the stage. You know what I'm saying? And that was just mind-blowing, because from where I come from, before you hit the stage,
that's the party right there, right?
It's going crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then you're kind of wondering to yourself, do these people really kind of understand?
Right. Do they understand me? Do they even like what I'm doing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you start performing, and then after every song you get an applause, and then you kind of, and I'm coming from there to now. When you go to somewhere like Japan, they are now in a position where before you hit the stage, it's rowdy.
I was gonna say, and they know all the words.
Crazy.
Now, so.
and they're very supportive of what you're doing, But as you said, music transcends all of that.
Right. It is the universal language, and I think that's why it's so good for you and for us that you have a new album. It all comes back to love.
It all comes back to love.
Okay, tell me. I saw some of the names on here. First of all, the fact that you've worked with Estelle, I just think she is the most. Estelle's on there. Tell us some of the other people that you worked with.
And she's also British.
Yes, British. You're right. You're right.
I also, obviously, I did the album with my good friend, longtime friend, Mr. Shaggy Bombastic. Such a great vibe, and such a long time friendship that we've had. We've worked together for so long on so many different projects, but for this particular project, we were able to kind of put together a whole album.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? How the story went is that he met up with Steve Greenberg at a function on a weekend. He asked him, somehow my name came up, and he asked him if he would be interested. No, sorry, he said I would be interested in listening to some of the stuff.
Okay.
He went down to the studio. He listened to some of the tracks, and he said, would we be interested in making an album? And I guess that's why we're here today.
And that's as easy as it is, huh? You're just sitting around, and then all of a sudden you got an album with Maxi Priest and Shaggy and Estelle and all these other people. It
sounds that easy, but the album was co-produced by Shaggy, Wayne, Chippy, Shane Husong from the Ranch crew.
Okay.
Ranch is Shaggy's studio, and then, as you said, Estelle, Hamilton, Anthony Hamilton.
So you got that R&B vibe again.
Bounty Killer.
Yeah, Bounty Killer. Okay. These are all names that people, definitely know.
Yeah, and my son, Chase Sav,
okay.
who also participated on it, and Noah Power, and a host of musicians and engineers and everybody who participated in creating the album.
So people have got to go and get it. All comes back to love.
I think you need to get this.
You should get it. You should get it.
I created this album, to put a smile on people's face, as I've always tried to do, and spread the music across the world. It's an album for everybody. Yeah.
Oh. You're for everybody, Maxi Priest.
Well, you know what? I am.
Yeah, you're for everybody.
And I stand firm in that. That's how I was brought up. As I said, my mother was a missionary in Pentecostal church. That's how we were brought up. We are one people. You know, it doesn't matter which color, class, or race you may be. We are one nation, and that's the human nation. Yeah.
And
the
I
human
think
race.
I think
There you
on
go.
that is how we're going to end it today. Again, the new album, It All Comes Back to Love. You can get it. It actually comes out, what, in the next week or so?
The album is actually out now.
Now. Okay, it's
right?
now. Okay.
We are promoting the single at the moment, which is I'm Alright,
Okay.
featuring my good friend Shaggy on it. And it went straight in at the reggae Billboard charts at #2.
Okay.
And obviously we want to push it further than that and keep it going in the Billboard charts.
All right, so y'all heard it from the man himself. He is in town. He is going to be honored for the Black British Heritage Celebration that we're having here at the City of Miramar. Go out and get the album. It's called It All Comes Back to Love. And it really does come back to the very smooth, the very melodic, the very legendary Mr. Maxie Priest. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
it's an honor and a pleasure to be here. Peace.
Thank you. And thank you so much for watching Good Morning Miramar. Until next time, I'm Tamara G. See ya.